Okay. Blah. Alright. Hello, chat. Yes, I'm alive. I'm here. I'm back. It's been a while since I've streamed. Finally got it to get working again. Yeah, we're just gonna be playing a little bit of Minecraft today. Wait, what's that? Get out of here. Green screen error. Nah, that's just an artifact. It's gonna be there. Anyway, hello guys. Welcome to the day. I forgot I was at someone else's base. Yeah. It's around lunchtime, so watch while you eat kind of stream maybe. I don't know. Gotta tell you what to do. Oh, that's nice. I should have started this at my house. That's fine. 'Cause I know how to get there. Can you hear me well? Am I loud enough? Yeah, I think I am. Sorry if I sound a little weird. I think I'm coming down with a cold. Comfortable. Shifting position. Oh yeah, there we are. Oh, also, by the way, new skin. I like it. I think it could definitely use some work still, but hello cow. Yeah, welcome to the humble abode. I love the new Bedrock shaders, by the way. It's my dogs. Why does it have bird noises now? That I don't like. Alright. What have we got in terms of materials? No wood. We need wood. So I should get to sleeping soon. I need to light this place up. Oh, hello, wandering trader. What do you have for trades? Can I murder your llamas for Fortunately, I already have a diamond pickaxe. Oh! Yeah, sure, you can sleep on my bed. This light is like right in my eyes. Does it make the green screen look bad? Yes, it does. Maybe? No? Okay. Alright, moon's up. Nighttime. I love the water. I just love this new feature. Off to resource gathering. I don't really know how to entertain a stream. It needs some work. sorry, I picked the worst time to get a cold. Actually, let me check the stream volume. Actually, let me check the... Oh! Okay, so my fan is going to be a problem. And I signed up. Yeah, you are blowing right into my mic, aren't you? You know what? We'll turn it back on when we get hot. Okay. How's this sounding now? You know what? We'll turn it back on when we get hot. Okay. How's this sounding now? Alright, that's a lot better. Getting back in. I wish I had brought my proper cord for my mic, but... Okay. Ba-da. School is coming up for a lot of people, except for mine. It's already started. I really need to. I need better practice at this. Oh, rain, good. Okay. Really, already? I'm out. That is a creeper. He will get charged. I'm young. My gear is not good enough to take these guys on. Well, I mean, I just don't feel like it. Alright, that bit in my desk is gonna wait. Oh, I need to heal you up. I don't have any meat right now, though. I really should have found out to use this scream. Ah! Ugh. Sorry. This is a really bad stream. I apologize. I think 2 stacks of wood is good. Okay. Nope. Okay. Ow. Alright, we're going into the other game. This is a big tree. Looks like something my sister would have made a tree house out of. When we were younger. Huh. to stream solo. Okay, got the wood. Let's get the building. I might not leave this stream up, I don't know. It's not really adding to the experience. Okay. We're working on a hobbit hole design for my starter base. I think next build stream is going to be working on my main base. First we mine, then yeah, I'm not gonna finish that quote because I realized halfway through it's cringe. Alright. chopper. Oh, right, I was minding that. Alright, you know what? I figured it out. I'm gonna... Okay, now this feels desperate. Whatever. I'm gonna tell some stories. That's it. I should get this in my head. Well, it's out now. I'll cut it out of the stream highlights, maybe. Sorry, I'm really locked in on this. Oh my gosh, why didn't I mine that out? I'm gonna talk about bad experiences in D&D Club. Cause I'm a nerd. That's where the camera is. So basically, no, let's start from the beginning. When I was in middle school, I think it was like 7th grade, I had only recently discovered Dungeons and Dragons from my uncle and my cousins. That's another story. And I had learned from my friends I was sitting with at lunch. What is that? Oh, that's awful cool. Okay. Why did it look like that? I learned from my friends that when I was sitting with them at lunch, they were talking about D&D, and I discovered the D&D Club. And I joined D&D Club, hoping to join their party. But their party had ended up being full. And so the teacher who sponsored the club knew absolutely nothing about D&D, which should have already been a red flag. He was a nice teacher, though, good guy. I just knew nothing about the game. He was my geometry teacher, actually. Had found me a group with some 6th graders, 2 other guys. Now, I am going to blame myself entirely for not seeing the red flags. Because, first off, apparently, their campaign had a history of people dropping, of just leaving the campaign, being tired of playing with them. And I don't know why I didn't notice that sooner. My second red flag should have been that, they were the only group of 2. And that no one else had a group that small. You know, I just thought, maybe, they're like more of an exclusive group, maybe. I don't know. And as time went on playing with them, I had realized I was put in the wrong group for a beginner, because they clearly had no idea how to play D&D and didn't care to know. Like, didn't have a DM screen, didn't have stat blocks, they barely had dice, even. And I had asked, like, what level are we at? What level should I start at? And they said, level 10. For a new player to start at level 10. And also, throughout the campaign, it was just like a really immature type of thing. Like they had, like the quest line was, King Poopyfart had sent us to go on a mission to the Among Us kingdom to, I don't even remember what. I don't even know what we were doing, because the wizard was chaotic evil and decided that means I do whatever I want and kill literally everything. As opposed to my very good aligned fighter. So yeah, that was going on. And also, I would always ask, like, I was looking at the rules and stuff. I had been watching D&D-based content to, you know, try and learn how to play the game. And they would use terminology I wasn't familiar with. And I was like, hey, what's this? What's that? What's the other thing? And they had no idea. Eventually, it ended with, like, us PvPing. But the DM also favored the other guy way too much. And, like, everything would always go well for him and horrible for me. Like, I had gotten a magic item at one point, a flame tongue, and he had made me figure out the command word myself with no hints, no available information. Just to figure it out. So I would just try random words as much as I could. And eventually, it was, like, it was a scream from a cartoon, like when Tom and Tom and Jerry gets hurt. That was the command word, and I had to do that every single time I wanted it to activate. And it was just such an unserious game, and like, it was near the end of the year, so I had stuck out, but I did not return to D&D Club the next year. Then we get to high school, where I thought it would be better. Spoiler alert, it was not. Yeah, it was back to a complete fundamental misunderstanding of the rules. Like, I was sure those people were illiterate, but I'm getting my head of myself. So, really? Hate creepers. So, I had found one DM who was running a Tales from the Yawning Portal module, with me and I think 4 other new players that had no idea how the game worked and weren't taught very well. Yeah, also fun fact about the DM, he looked exactly like Moist Critical. So just imagine Charlie as the DM. And it was going pretty fine. It was satisfactory. Fixed my D&D fix, cuz also back then I was by the philosophy that bad D&D is better than no D&D. Boy, was I wrong. Why did I make so many torches? But yeah, I was going fine until he wasn't able to DM anymore. I don't remember the reason. I think it had something to do with the class. Or he just dropped the club. I don't know. And then I went through a weird period of kind of drifting between groups. There was one group I stuck out with for the longest, but eventually, like, they had to leave and stuff. It was a common theme, which is why I was drifting so much. And it was just strike after it was just miss after miss after miss. Like, just like none of them, not a single person in that entire club actually had a proper understanding of the rules. Like a changeling that thought they had druid wild shape powers, a DM who thought it would be cool to put his DMPC in and make it all about him and not actually put any proper effort into the story. Like, there was one DM where we started out, we were all on a prison spaceship. And like none of us knew what our crimes actually were. And we got to mine, and I had asked, and he went, "Oh, you've committed treason." And I said, "Oh, what did I do?" And he said, "Treason." I'm like, "Yeah, but what did I do? You betrayed the government. Specifically how?" And he just never elaborated, like, what I actually did. So, yeah, never played with that group again after that. And this stuff would just go on. I didn't get along with any of the other people. They were all way too weird for me. It's just like, and that's saying something, because I'm pretty weird. Yeah, none of them knew how to actually play the game. And I have a good D&D group now, but it took a minute to do that. D&D Club is also, fun fact, why I am a forever DM, because after that 7th grade experience, it was like, never again. But I think my worst D&D club experience, I keep wanting to look over at my second monitor, but my camera's there, was like sophomore year. Actually, I'm going to tell another story before that, because this is a good climax. There was another time the teacher would run one-shots runtime, and she was the most experienced DM there, but still not a lot of DMing experience. I didn't vibe with her style. But she had some pre-written characters for people, and there was this one new character who said, "Ooh, I want to play an elf wizard." And then this one kid, this was a 19-year-old senior, by the way, just started whining like a child at a daycare, like when someone took the toy that he wanted to play with, and he's like, "But no, I'm already playing an elf wizard. We can't have 2 wizards. Change your character. Change your character. You gotta change your character." Like, this grown man just throwing a hissy fit at this new kid who just wanted to play a wizard. And the only thing left was Human Fighter. And I was just watching from the sidelines. I was just doing homework. I was done with, like, actually playing with these people. Well, I was technically doing homework. Instead, I was making a flowchart of balancing parties and realizing that a party entirely of bards was completely balanced. And that was just a little bit of irony. Like, he's whining about 2 wizards, and I'm like, 4 bards makes sense. Four bards is actually a pretty good party. But everyone else had, again, completely misunderstood their characters, and were like bragging about how cool their characters were. Like, ooh, I'm a demon. Ooh, I'm a cool lizard guy who eats people, and I'm so freaking cool. And then, like, no one explained to him how his character sheet worked, what stuff he could do. And he's like, what do I do? I'm just a regular human. I might as well not do anything. And it was, like, so sad to watch, because this kid I know is never gonna play D&D again now. And, like, it also started off, like, the mission was, they were on a boat. And, like, what their objective was underwater, so, like, immediately the wizard folk is like, I can swim underwater because I'm so awesome. And, like, this is actually how they would brag about their characters in front of him. And he eventually was just like, I'm just a regular person, I can't do anything. Which made me so sad, because human fighters are really cool as well. Like when I think of human fighter, I think of Captain America. Because, like, what else would he be? He's not a paladin, he doesn't have any powers, he's just a really strong guy. He's an elite soldier, which is what the player's handbook describes fighters as. Like, a fighter is no regular soldier with a sword. Like, this is a master warrior. But yeah. Anyway, it was sad to watch, because it was so toxic. But I think my worst experience in that club is, to preface, there was this one kid that had, like, really started taking a liking to me. It was not reciprocal. And he would just talk to me about all the stuff he'd do in his campaigns that he thought sounded so cool that were kind of just, okay, to me. And, like, I could tell he did not understand the game, because he also gave all of the classes weird little nicknames. Like, he called the sorcerer the chosen one, and the rogue the assassin or something, which is only one type of rogue. It was really weird. And one day, there were that is really loud. There was, I can't remember if, like, there had been an update sent out that the club was canceled that day, and, like, I just didn't get it. Well. But, or, like, why is that so loud? Or, like, literally just it was only us that showed up, but only 3 people had showed up. Me and 2 other guys, one of which was the guy I just told you about. And, like, the teacher had said, like, oh, you guys could, there's no one really here today, but you guys could do, like, a one-shot or something. Does that get the desk out of frame? There we go. Oh. My green screen was dependent on that camera angle. Okay. But the teacher was like, oh, you guys can do a one-shot maybe, and this guy so eagerly raised his hand like, oh, can I be the dam? Can I be the dam? And we all went, sure, why not? And so we made our characters, like, I had already had this character made. Another thing. When I was drifting around all of these different groups, like I always played the same character, and it was funny, and that kind of made him canonically a multiverse traveler, just because I didn't get along with anyone in that group. But anyway, I actually made a different character for this one. I had gone for a half-elf gunslinger. The other guy went for a human paladin. And this guy, he had literally nothing with him. Not a book, not a die. He had to borrow some of the teacher's dice, not a screen, nothing. And already I was having flashbacks to 7th grade. And the first thing he says when we go in, he's like, for this session, I'm only going to be using 1 die. And he holds up the d20, and we're immediately like, you need all the dice. Like, oh, yeah, right, of course. So that was already a red flag. And he hits us with the classic, you all meet in a tavern type of thing. Not very bad. But his problem was, there were 3 plot hooks given to us. A shady merchant guy who, like, we just ignored because there was literally no reason for us to show any interest in him. One guy who was absolutely traumatized and bloodied, saying there are monsters in the woods. And, like, he did the acting pretty good, but... Oh my gosh, stop touching me. But, and then the other plot hook was, like, a job board for, like, a bandit camp, not too far off. And, like, I can understand giving your players multiple options, but as, like, the first plot hook, like, you can't overwhelm them. And also, like, the other guy's character was just giving non-stop insults to my player, calling him weak and puny and stuff, and I don't know. For whatever reason that day I saw that as a personal attack. Like, I realize in some of these stories I am in the wrong, by the way, but I really couldn't tell if he was just being mean in character or mean in real life, because he did absolutely nothing to show the difference. But anyway, I had gone with the monsters in the woods plot hook, and he went with the bandit camp plot hook. Yeah, we cut between us a bit. Yeah, already this is bad, but I just genuinely did not care enough. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm blameless. I definitely did not make all the right decisions in these stories. But, yeah, and so the monsters had turned out to be orcs. It was an orc camp. I'm like, okay, I'll take out an orc camp. There was one orc standing guard, and I had gotten out my gun. I went to shoot at the orc, and I rolled a hit, and this guy rolled a d20 for the AC, which was already crazy. Like, I had rolled enough to hit a regular orc, because it was an orc. And then he described that the orc caught the bullet. Like, casually. And it was like... Yeah, I was already like, this is going to be a very bad game. But we basically went through that. I did the orc stuff. And the other guy at the bandit camp got a lot more attention, because the DM clearly had wanted us to go for that, but had given us 2 other options as well, which I did not understand. But meanwhile, he, like, befriended the bandits. They turned out to just be really misunderstood, and apparently they had, like, a bunch of cool loot in their basement, like a literal red dragon egg which again, he called the wrong name, because I don't think he knows this game very well. But yeah, eventually, I don't remember if I had left early, or, like, we just finished, but I was pretty emotionally checked out by then, because it was just my 7th grade game all over again. And yeah, I quit the club shortly after that. But now I have my own D&D group with some friends and cousins and whatnot, and it's pretty fun. One of us does have a completely different play style though, which ended up with us last night accidentally rage baiting the DM. Whoops. But it's fine. You know, now that I'm saying this story out loud, I'm realizing I might have been in the wrong for most of this. I'm not sure. Introspection is fun. But yeah, that was my Dungeons and Dragons Club experience. I should be picking up this gunpowder. Yeah, that was my D&D club story. How long has this stream been going? Actually, alright. And I logged out again. I don't like when Bedrock does this. Yeah. Yeah, as you might have known, for those of you who are on the channel before I did my recent purge of low quality videos, that I did do some D&D content, but that was back when I had a laptop and all that, and it just did not work out. Combined with not being able to consistently stream it and stuff, yeah. You know, it happens. Alright, I gotta end the stream soon, it looks like. Yeah, I hope you were entertained. I doubt you were, if I'm being completely honest. this was just meant to be like me getting back into streaming. Oh wait, I have chests like right over here. What am I doing? Okay. Alright, the tunnel's finished. I'm not sure how I feel about this corner. I'll have to... I don't know, maybe well, no, that just looks incomplete. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this is the guest room. Well, I would hope. I had hoped I would get some landscaping work done. Maybe that's for next stream. Why? Yeah, anyway. That was a stream. What? Actually, what's that? I do not understand why the grass is making this noise. Is this new? Is this just a bedrock? Oh, that's a tree. That looked like some kind of structure from a distance. Yeah, that's not my house. That's the owner's house. my best stories, man. I need more life experience, quick! Wait, I do have more life experience. Do you mind? I'm streaming. I'm doing an outro. Where'd that arrow go? A drowned zombie villager, really? You can't swim. You are my new pet. And you have a block so you'll never despawn. Have fun. Alright, now it's begun to rain. I think this is a good place to end the stream. Wait, is my shield out? Oh, you can still see the bolts in the shield. Anyway. You guys all have a good day. Yeah. Bye.